Let's go! Welcome back to Hall of Fame College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. We are back. We've got a couple guys going to maybe be coming in here. In fact, we've got one that making his debut on the show right now. So, Mr. Mike Wilkinson.
What's up? What's up, J-Dog?
How you doing, man? Doing good?
Hey, if I was any better, I'd be a twin, brother.
Love it. Stephen G, what's up, bud? Jeff, how you guys doing? Glad you guys are in here. Hey, tell everybody, hey, we got to get him started on his journey here, so we'll see what's up.
All right. What you need to know, Jay?
Well, let's talk. Let's talk about the first thing I want to talk about is what the hell is going on with this Big 12 awards. They loving up on old Gundy, it looks like. Loving up on old Gundy and Ollie. And
I seen that today, and I just flipped my noodle.
What's up, Mars? Steve
hey,
G?
Mars. I only live not too far from Stillwater, and there was almost a revolt today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of had to, I guess you had to see it coming. It's so crazy to me, but
yeah, it is
where they are on it. And that's what they wanted to do. You can tell that's what they wanted to do. Look, here's the thing. I would have understood if they gave it to Neil Brown.
Yeah.
They're picked to finish 14th. You know, and he wins 8 games.
He does. I mean, I wouldn't be
him by week 4. They had him fired by week 4 out in West Virginia. So I would have understood that. But here's the thing, and even far be it from me to give any love to Texas, but Mike, he won 11 games this year. He's got a chance to go to the playoffs. Sark is. How do you not give it to either him or BV? BV goes from 6-7 to 10-2.
Yeah, as bad of a Texas hater as I am, you're right. Sark, I thought he would have been very deserving of it. I mean, like I said, and BV going from 6-7 to 10-2 this year. I mean, my God, what the hell? And how about our player? How about our players getting snubbed for every national award out there?
Yeah. And that's the thing too. That's the thing that bothers me too. Is that okay? So, let me say this real quick though. Gundy gets named Big 12 Coach of the Year for second time in 3 seasons. He did it in 21 and 23, and then in 2010. Matt Campbell's also done it 3 times. So is Bill Snyder and Stoops. I mean, I get it why Stoops did it that many times, but he should have probably had 5 of them at least.
Yeah.
To give this guy, I mean, look, man, you lost by 27 at home to South Alabama. I mean, come on.
Jason, we're in the wrong profession. We need to go coach OSU, not coach for.
Yeah, just be happy.
Just be. And my name's Mike. I could be called Mediocre Mike.
There it is. Yeah,
and
apply.
pay me the millions, and I'll sit on my ass and not do nothing, and get Coach of the Year. Crazy.
He probably got a big ass freaking bonus for it too. No, and he's already making freaking $9 million or whatever.
I know, it's just so ridiculous. It is.
Thanks for the super chat there, Charles Crow Flies High. And you said go Cowboys up there. I have a hard time putting that up, but since you gave me $2, I'll throw it up there.
But Jason, I want to talk to you a second.
All right.
I did some homework earlier today.
Spit it out. Let's hear it.
I want your honest opinion because, like I said, I'm debuting. You've been in this business a long time. OU defense, rank 80th in the nation.
Okay. That's total defense on yardage.
Yeah,
is what
that's total. I looked up total defense. Now I took some notes, and I'll just give you the last 3 games.
Okay.
TCU, we give up 520, BYU 390, West Virginia 330. And looking, what I'm wanting to ask is looking at the 80th ranked defense in the nation, and we're going into the SEC next year. How does that make you feel?
Well, it doesn't make you feel great, but you don't have as many of these kind of offenses in it. And here's the other part of it. I think that a lot of it had to do with the fact that you had some at the end of the year, there was definitely some drop off there, I would say. I think that the defensive line wasn't great at the end of the year. I think that that's where they're going to hit the portal the hardest. I think we've been talking about that a lot, but I think you have to. But I also think you got a couple of guys in this recruiting class that are liable to go ahead and be guys that you can depend on. I think that Stoney, when you go to IMG, this is not the same as any other high school in the country.
Right.
Even the big dogs like Bishop Gorman and some of these other places that might win the national championship modern day. IMG is strictly to get you ready to be not just a college football player, but a professional football player.
Right.
It just like it almost reminds me of how they do basketball and soccer and all that stuff over in Europe, where they become professionals when they're 10 or 11, 12 years old, you know?
Exactly.
And that's what they do. They work on their craft. And so to me, I feel like, and that's a good point. I'll put right there. That's 40 higher than last year, which is, and here's the thing on as far as scoring defense is concerned, do you have that written down there? Because I hadn't checked. I know they were still in the top 30.
I was just looking at total defense. I should have been better prepared on my notes.
That's all right. No, that's okay. But I was just saying, in the end, yeah, it's better than it was a year ago for sure. And I think you've got guys that, first off, I think they're going to go out there and find some guys that they need. There may be some, and I know where you're going with this, so I'll let you get there. But I just think that some of the other stuff too is that I think Stoney will be ready. I also think Nigel Smith is one of those guys that might come in ready. I mean, the guy's already 230, 240 anyway. And you saw PJ Adebawari. I think that if you let PJ get in there and you see some more of Trace Ford, probably a little bit on the edges, that's the problem to me at the defensive line position is you're not setting the edges out well and you're not getting enough pressure on the quarterback the last half of the season. That I don't think they were putting as much on that, right?
Right. I mean, one thing that stood out to me is our sack ratio this year.
Yeah. Your sack ratio, not enough of them?
Not enough of them.
Yeah, I agree. I also think they struggled in zone defense. If you got into the zone, it was bad for them.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of zone defense.
No.
Never have been.
I don't think you have to be in this. And I think, but there's the other thing about it too, is I think the secondary, you're going to see some of these guys that didn't get a lot of time there either. So you see guys like PJ, I love Ethan Downs, but they either need to move his ass inside or get him out because he never gets to the quarterback, man.
I don't know if you ever listen to Sam Mays or not.
I do. I love Sam.
I do too.
Great stuff.
He said something on one of his sellout crowd episodes that Ethan Downs turned the switch off that he turned on in the Texas game.
Mm-hmm.
And is that saying anything bad about Ethan? No, it's not. Because, I mean...
No, look, I think that Ethan... I think he does well. He had that pick in the one game that it didn't help us in the end, but it's...
Right.
Should have.
It should have.
Look, but I just don't think that your job as a defensive end is to get onto the outside. Who hit the
That's
dislike
right.
button? Somebody hit a dislike button already? What the heck? No, that's all right if you do that at least. But make sure you do hit the like or something if you guys are in here, all right? This show in Inyo shoes, yeah. Look,
But I'm excited. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, Jason. I'm just
Toby.
I
get it.
But
say what
like
you feel on here, you know that. You know how I feel.
Oh, I know that. I know. We're like Shoddy Parker. It's just my damn opinion.
Yeah, listen. And look, I mean, you guys, we've watched it all year, but and here's the other thing too. Some of the pressure did equal INTs, so that's that.
Yeah.
When you lead the country in turnovers.
Yes, we do.
I feel good about what they're doing in the secondary. I think that Makari Vickers and Josiah Wagner. You still have Kendall Dobie coming back. He should be better next year. And then you got Gentry Williams, who we hope is a little more healthy.
Right.
I think if we can get that going, but I think these younger guys are going to come in and start having an impact. And that's what you're hoping for, right? You said that, Hank, you guys have talked about it. Kim, you were saying it earlier. We talked about this a lot. The first year, bad. And part of it was gutted. This team.
Yeah.
13 guys off the depth chart on defense were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 13 guys. They weren't even that good. But as far as numbers were concerned, they weren't great. But you lose 13 of them. You didn't really have a lot of guys back. And then, so we know what we saw last year. But I feel like you probably get Danny Stutzman back. I feel like, and that's, you don't want, if anything, you're really hoping these linebackers are better, right?
Right. That's where I want to see improvement is the linebacker play. And Jason, since I've been on your channel, me and you have dogged Jaron Canick to death.
I love Jaron, but I just wish he would freaking figure it out.
Me too.
I think he has brain freeze when he gets out there sometimes. If Danny's not out there, he really does, And so,
yeah.
But I think Kip and Kobe are going to be better. Lewis Carter, I forget about Lewis Carter, but Phil Picciotti, Picciotti. Piccioti's a stud, and then hey, don't forget about Samuel Omosigho. That guy was a beast.
No, don't. I tell you who I'm looking forward to playing together in that secondary. Peyton Bowen and Dave McCullough.
That's right, Dave McCullough. Then you also have Eli Bowen coming in. He's a corner. So
Eli,
yeah, man.
Do we got Seatbelt coming back this year?
Seatbelt to be back. Yeah, he's
good.
Everything that I've heard. His family's all the way in. They're locked in and stuff. In fact, I saw his dad put something on Twitter the other day. Somebody had put that they were locked in, and so he put a lock and retweeted it. So and they love this team. They love Oklahoma. They love Brandon Hall. They love these guys. And Brandon's one of those guys that was really in on that recruitment. Coach V, they love him. I mean, they love the soul mission. That's something that Bishop Frank was talking about today in the obviously in our Discord a little bit. But
right.
Soul mission is a lot to these guys. I think to a lot of these guys, it means a lot more than you think it does. And so, again, you have to continue doing what you're doing as far as, Eli's another ball hawk. Look, I think just having Peyton Bowen in, like you said, I think is going to make a big thing. But a lot of these guys are there for that reason. And look, like, I understand the guys that need the money from the NIL and stuff like that, so you're going to do what you do. They're not – that's not the guys that Coach Venables is going after. It's just not the dudes that he's going to be going after, right?
No.
So that's if it's all about money, they're going to get them money because they know they have to play that game. And I think that makes, if you're going to lose Lebby, if you're going to miss Lebby anywhere, I think it would be in that department because he was instrumental with the NIL stuff.
Yeah,
and setting a lot of that up.
I agree with that.
That being said, though, he, with Joe John staying behind, he was kind of stuck at the hip a lot, and Seatbelt was starting to get snaps. Look, I just feel like you're going to see a lot of these guys hang around. And look, I don't think that there's an issue. I think they're starting to get the money anyway. And there's more places that it's coming from as well. They know they have to play that game, and they knew that going into the SEC. You're going to have to play it. Do you have to play it at the A&M level? No, because that's the problem with A&M. It's not that they can't get talent; it's they don't get the right talent.
That's right. That's right.
They don't put it all together the right way. It's just that's A&M for you.
Yeah.
Right?
What a dumpster fire.
Oh, good grief. Yeah. So that's what we were saying on the other show. And I didn't get a chance to really say it out loud, but I put it in the chat in there. Is what a freaking they say no to Stoops because of the I guess the boosters and the fans on Twitter were losing their shit over it. And so they he's a 7-5. He's always 7-5. He's won 10 games twice at Kentucky, they don't do it ever. And then he goes 7-5 this year, won their best year. But they changed their mind on that, and apparently he was on the tarmac, but they changed their mind on that, send him back to Kentucky, and then go to the 7-5 guy in the ACC that's just like him if he's lucky.
Yeah. And both of them were assistants under Jimbo.
Stupidest shit ever.
God. What?
Crazy, right? But it's just like Texas A&M. Just like Texas A&M. I'm sitting there listening to the week before or the couple of days before that, I'm listening to that stupid Brandon Walker and those guys.
Oh my God.
I like to troll them a little bit, but I tell you, Casey Smith is just as bad, if not worse. She don't know what the hell she's talking about. And she was complaining about Stoops and like really mad. And I'm thinking the opinion that Texas A&M fans have of themselves and where they feel like they are in the on the totem pole of college football greatness. It's a little out of whack there. Little out of whack, Casey Smith.
Yeah. Well, she sunshine pumps A&M about as much as Brandon Walker does Mississippi State.
Yeah, wow. Oh yeah, and he was loving on some Jeff Lebby, and
he was, wasn't he?
How bad Oklahoma was going to be now that Levy's gone.
Hey, let me tell you something. I've seen some negative feedback, but I'm going to give my 2 cents on this. I like this OC hire, or the co-OC thing.
I agree. I think that, and I'll tell you, I just watched a little bit of it earlier, but I'll tell you, my feeling is that when you start looking at look, I understand a lot of people are like, look, you didn't make the big splash hire or whatever. Well, what is that? So the one guy that maybe you make it Sean Lewis if that's available, maybe. And I understand the Marion talk. I understand a little bit, but I got to tell you, if you're going to hold on to these guys, we got folks coming in. If you're going to hold on to these guys, you better be holding on to them by continuity. And I think Seth Luttrell has proven that he can call plays. I think he's probably a better play caller than what they had this season.
I think he is too, Jason.
The players love him. I'm going to bring on Shoddy. Oh, no, he just left. And
well, dang it.
Well, look at there. Oh, Cody Stovall.
Well, hey, fellas.
Well, Cody,
you can call me Shouty for now until the real Shouty shows up.
How you doing, Cody?
I'm doing fantastic. If I was doing any better, it might be illegal. All right. Now, hey, check back with me Saturday afternoon. That'll be the question.
You mean after Texas body bag show?
Yeah, that seems to be the common consensus, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Real quick, Tanya Shipman, thank you so much, Tanya, for the super sticker. You can definitely, if you'd like to, leave a comment in there, and we'll make sure to get it up there. All right.
No, Cody, I might flip OSU shit all the time, but man, I'm like Jason. You're one of the few that I can hang around with and like.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, and I'll tell you what. Being on this show the other day gave me a lot of faith in OU fans because I've been seeing a lot of this. We're going for Texas, and I never thought that I'd see the day that an exorbitant amount of OU fans are legitimately not only cheering for Texas, but OU fans seem to be not liking selling tickets to Cowboy fans. I don't know that I blame them.
Well, Cody,
But
Cody, I'm going to bring up something, and I was doing some homework today. Do you know, in order for if OU wants to make a legitimate January 6th bowl, two things has to happen. OSU has to beat Texas, and Georgia has to win a lopsided SEC victory.
I love that. I love that, Mike. I absolutely. And here's the deal, fellas. Everybody and their mom is talking about Texas, right? They have like 17 projected NFL dudes. They had 11 all Big 12 teamers. You know, everyone's talking about how they're just going to run away with everything, which is fine, because as much grief as I do give Gundy, because I think he deserves a decent amount of it, if there's one thing that he does typically show up for, it's when he's a double-digit dog. Like he's like 70-something% when he's a double-digit dog on the spread. So
I told Stat Guy on I was just a caller on Coach I's show last night, but I told Stat Guy that don't be surprised what Mike Gundy will do. and
he
this
finds a way to screw up the ones that we should win when we're favored, and somehow pulls some of these out.
Yeah, and you're talking to a diehard Boomer Sooner, but I've been seeing Mike Gundy ever since he was hired at OSU, and I'm sitting here going, how in the hell did he do that?
He doesn't pucker as much whenever he's not supposed to. He doesn't pucker up quite.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true, guys. When Gundy's the favorite, right, in big games, he gets super conservative, right? Look at the Bedlam record. That's a perfect indication of that exact thing. And that's precisely what Kalani Sitake and BYU did for us last Saturday, is they tried to, milk the clock and hold on to a W. And it turned around and bit him. And it was such poetic justice that we do end up in the Big 12 title game, primarily because we've had so many of those instances in Bedlam that went the opposite way. So it was nice to see us do the same to BYU.
Well, look what the cat drug in. There's old Shotty down there.
Oh, Mike Wilkerson's in the house with us, and Shotty Parker from Just My Damn Opinion. What's up, Shotty?
Gentlemen, how's it going? I hope y'all doing all right.
We're doing all right, man. We're doing all right.
I try not to complain, Shouty. I learned a while back. Nobody listens any daggone ways.
Yeah, poor man can't never complain. That's my motto anyway.
You couldn't knock that smile off Cody's face right now, man. He thinks they're going to win the conference championship this week.
Well, Cody, this is no offense to you, but if my daddy was still alive, he would be saying, I wish both of them could find a damn way to lose.
I've heard that quite a bit in the last few days. So I get it. I get it.
He's heard it because I've been saying it to him every day.
Oh man.
Shotty, what are you thinking about this Alabama game?
Just to put it in a nutshell, I think we're better than them probably by 11 points. But I think it could be a tough game. I really do. We all know that Milrose can cause problems. I think he can beat us with his leg, but I think if we can force him to throw the ball at least, I think I said maybe between 22 times or more, I think we have a shot to win that game. If you don't throw it that many times, then we're going to be in trouble because he's causing problems with the running game.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm still on Georgia's bandwagon, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shotty asked me last night on his show what I was drinking when I was picking the scores.
and guys, Jason, if y'all get a chance, man, I did a playoff rundown of this year. If we would have had a 12-team playoffs, check it out. You get a chance. Might
I will, man. And I would have been on last night too, but man, those days since the season got over with and all the stuff with Levy and everything else, I worked late 2 nights in a row. I fell asleep yesterday afternoon thinking I'll get up in a couple of hours. I didn't wake up till freaking 11. So
You know, you had Oregon in the first round.
OU and Oregon in the first round of your playoff, huh?
Yep.
Everybody,
That's how it would have been this year if it would have lined up. That's who it would have been.
Okay. So, get over there to Just My Damn Opinion and check it out over there. I'll drop that link in there for everybody to check out just to make sure we have the right one. But it's Just My Damn Opinion with Shouty. You know, so and if you put in Thad Parker, or Shouty Parker, it'll find him too for sure. So, but I'll drop that.
Hey,
in there.
Shouty, I got a question. I got a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Being how we're going to be new in the SEC next year, a quality SEC defense, not counting the bowl games or the playoffs, just the regular season, what would be classified as a good defense in total yards given it in the SEC?
Are you talking about maybe middle of the road, or are you talking about a top 5 defense?
Top 5 defense is what I'm talking about.
Top 5 defense, you want to be in there probably anywhere between giving up maybe 270 yards to maybe 300, and I say maybe 30 yards a game. No more than that.
That's what I was thinking, Jason.
To be in the top half or the top 5?
I think that'll put you in for sure. If you're giving up 270, you're gonna probably be a top 1, 2, or 3. I just think the range between 270 and 330 will probably put you in the top half of the statistical defensive rank.
And I think next year they're going to be better. I don't know that they'll be that better.
No, I don't either.
I think that if you get in the top half, I think you're probably good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you're somewhere around 9 or 10 and you can put up 35, you're gonna have a good go of it. But that's the thing, is you got some young kids. That's why I've said this a lot, and you got to look at that schedule too. Is Oklahoma's got a tough schedule.
Oh my God!
You know, you're playing Alabama. You get them at home, and the good news is apparently you get them right before the Iron Bowl, so that's going to be good. But
in the wintertime.
But then you also, my guess is you're probably going to have an early one at night against LSU, and I don't give a crap how they are. You're probably going to lose that one.
That's a tough place to go in there and win, especially at night.
Yeah. So,
and
I think the other part is, like you guys have talked about a little bit, just real quick, is I think that it's not just playing Alabama or LSU. It's who you got next week. You got to turn around and play Ole Miss right after that. You know you're going to get 2 in a row on the road at some point in this league.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we play Utah, so ha.
Yeah, y'all just get new big brothers. You get new big brothers next year, Cody.
So I see.
Hey, Cody, let me ask you this, Cody. Do you think?
Yes, sir.
Do you think with Utah transitioning to the conference, do you think they're gonna stay as strong as they were in the Pac-12, or do you think you can see potentially a drop off in that program?
I actually do think that I think that they will always be a top 4, top 5 team. I think pretty year in, year out, right? Because what Kyle Whittingham has built, it should be a pretty good foundation for whomever is to take over. And realistically speaking, yeah, you're not getting SEC or Big Ten money, but the Big 12 is going to be making more than a significant amount to continue to find ways to be innovative and creative enough to allure big-time coaches away. So I don't think Whittingham's replacement is going to have very many difficulties maintaining them as a top 5 perennial team.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. And they got Cam Rising coming back. He said he's going to come back for another year, and so they're going to come in. I think they're going to challenge for the Big 12 championship right off the bat. I would think. The other team that I think is going to be really good coming in, Arizona. They've been freshman quarterback. I mean, these guys have come in looking good. Look, the Big 12. Yeah, you lost your guys that your blue bloods that made a lot of money, but you added some teams that look. Coach Prime, I know things are kind of crazy right now, but you feel like he's probably going to get that thing figured out. You know,
I agree. I do agree. I see Shouty disagrees a little bit. I
think he's made some mistakes for sure. And I know we've talked about that a little bit. I think that the Sean Lewis thing, for you, to pull away play calling and he gets a head coaching job right after that. It doesn't. It doesn't
Sean,
look
yeah, that's real dumb. That's a head scratcher, is it not? Like Sean Lewis is clearly one of the top 5 offense coordinators, especially up and coming.
They put a lot of points on the board with him calling plays.
For you to kind of
they say he was applying for head coaching job behind Dillon Beck, I thought, after he had gave him a commitment, a 2-year commitment.
See, that'll do it though.
That could see. Now I hadn't heard that, but I did hear from a guy on Ty's show the other day that there was something that Sean was saying that it wasn't what he thought it was going to be out there.
I'm sure they know about it.
Well, I think that. Yeah, but listen, he didn't know Coach Prime before he got there either. Look, and I think it's fair. A lot of the Colorado players are kind of dogging on Coach Prime and in the way he did things this year. I think that it's an easy thing to do because Coach Prime calls people out publicly too. So, and then when you do that, you got to kind of expect for some of that to come back. So, look, I think that Sanders, he's going to be okay. I think that, but you better get some guys on the line to protect your kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Because without Shador, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got weapons. I mean, they've got weapons. They got to build it up in the front. They don't have to be great on defense in the Big 12. Not everybody is, but you better score a lot.
Mm-hmm. They better get some meeting. They better
you got to be able
meat.
to hang your hat on something, right? Whether it's the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. And we all know the Big 12 used to be predominantly a quarterback-driven league.
Right.
That clearly has shifted in the last few years. I think most teams are a little bit more defensive-oriented. The Big 12, it's slightly reminiscent. I know we've had this conversation before, Jason, of what the SEC looked like 9 years ago. Right? You didn't have a lot of 55, 65 games in the SEC 9 years ago. You didn't have a lot of teams throwing up 45 to 65 passes. Now you do see it quite often in the SEC. And then you got the Big 12 over here handing the ball off all the time.
Yeah.
So this is my issue with Dillon, and I've said this in the past. Teams generally have a tendency to take on the personality of their head coach. And that's all you've seen that happen in Colorado. A lot of flash. When the shit get real, it goes south. You know what I'm saying? It goes south. Then guys go out there talking, being flamboyant. When you got a disciplined team and a well-ran team, those kinds of things don't happen like we have with the coaching staff and players coming all out on Twitter and doing all that kind of stuff. It's just a reflection on, I hate to say it, of how he's run his program. And if he want to truly get serious about this, he's gonna have to make some personal changes. He's gonna have to cut friends off, stop trying to hire his homeboys and all that kind of stuff. He's gonna have to get serious about winning big time football.
Well, I saw Kim mention earlier about how long will Dillon potentially stay at Colorado. I do think that's one of those things that's going to keep him there a little bit longer. Is maybe this turnaround isn't quite as easy as he thought, right? Dillon's probably not going to leave Colorado with, like losing records consecutively, but clearly it's going to take him a few years to kind of get this thing rocking and rolling. Now, I personally do think that he will be able to get it there, but people are freaking out about Dillon, going to Colorado for like 2 years and leaving. I don't see that happening.
I love it. I think you're right on that, and I think you just hit the bullseye with that point alone because of the fact that, look, here's the one thing they have done: they've made a shit ton of money. They've sold out that stadium, and there is.
Hey Jason, I ain't mean to cut you out. Somebody getting a lot of feedback, a reverb, or something going on.
Yeah, I don't know if it's yours or mine.
Is it mine?
It
just stopped. It just now started. There you go.
No, I think it may be you, bud.
Me?
Yeah. Hold on. Are you watching the show right now too, Mike? Are you watching it on YouTube and on the link?
No. I went when you sent me the link to Twitter. I signed in the link there.
It's good now.
No,
I don't know. It might be me.
It might be. Here, let me try something.
Now, can I ask a question about this whole Dillon thing?
It's not coming from Shawty's because his was muted right there. Y'all talk after I mute mine real quick. Talk.
Hello?
I was muted, but I'm unmuted now.
I was going to ask something about this whole Dillon thing.
Go ahead.
What in the hell was he thinking hiring Warren Sapp?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's mixing up his two things that he likes to do most, which is, help people out and give them chances and stuff. And I think it's a tough thing to do right now. Yeah, we're getting check.
I heard.
Let me leave. I'll leave and come back in because I don't know if it's my soundboard or not.
Okay, it may be. Let's see. I don't know.
Hey, Cody, I do have a question for you, buddy.
Hold on, real quick, Mike.
Okay.
Check your other tabs just real quick, or I'm gonna try something real quick. Talk, Cody.
Sorry, I was muted. Am I good? Is it good? Is it good? Can you hear me?
Mike somewhere. Mike, I think you have it on somewhere else because we're getting a lot of echo coming back.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm on my cell phone, Jason. Because I don't have it.
Yeah, if you have your earphones or something, it might work. But if not, I think it's.
I have my earbuds in.
Yeah, something's up. I think you may be on your tabs on like whatever your deal is. So as soon as I mute you, we can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah. So check on your you can come back in, but check on your go to your tabs whenever I'll have you get out and then go to all your tabs and make sure that you don't have the stream opened anywhere because that's where it's coming in at. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Shawty. I think it was Mike.
Okay. Good.
He said, unfortunately, we can hear Cody Light. Hold on real quick. Let's.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
There we go. Shawty, let's go this way with it. Can you move just a little bit to your right, Shawty? Yeah, there you go. Now you're in the frame. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's the thing that my deal is just kind of like you kind of start wondering is that I don't like the Warren Sapp hire really much. I get what he's talking about, and maybe he can recruit and maybe he can teach these guys to be dogs. But man, your neck's on the line there. That's the one thing that could probably get you fired is screwing that up, right? Is like, you get Warren comes in there and does something stupid. And it hasn't even been that long since he got arrested is the thing. It's not like it's been 10 years and he's been all good, Yeah,
he's banking on the fact that a lot of young cats don't really pay a lot of attention, but they do know who Warren Sapp is. They know he's a legend, right? So I think that the younger generation, and this is what Dion's probably banking on from a marketability, like a recruiting marketability standpoint, that he has assembled enough people that can get into almost any living room just off of name alone. So you are right. He now has created himself a scapegoat, or no, Colorado has, because if this thing goes, tits up sideways and they go 3-7 the next 2 years, now they have a reason to get rid of him. And it's because, there's something contractually, there's always fine print contractually, how it is. But yeah, this is a bold move by Dillon. It might work, but if it backfires, it could definitely cost him his job.
Well, here's the thing that I would say about that. If you're Dillon, I mean, it is a backfire job, something that could get you in trouble. Now, they're not paying him enough to where it would kill them to fire him if they needed to either. So is it worth the gamble? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's worth the gamble, Shawty?
In terms of keeping Dillon and letting him go, what do you mean in terms of worth the gamble?
Is it worth the gamble to allow him to? If you're Deion, would it be worth the gamble for you because of what you might get out of?
Out of Sapp.
Yeah.
To me personally, I'm gonna say no, because it goes back to my point of what I was saying earlier. You got to get away. You got to get away from trying to hire his buddies and things like that.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting at is when you get, so say you got 2-3 Hall of Famers on the staff. Which Hall of Fame I supposed to listen to? Oh, he got just as many credentials as you got. So that's when you start getting cross messages and undermining and coaching and things like that. Then the first thing somebody like Sapp can say to Deion, hey, I got just as much money as you. I'm a Hall of Fame. So, even coaches bump heads.
Yeah, but like, you don't see a lot of those guys talking to Coach Prime like that, man. He don't put up with that.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the personality that, I think that Sapp has. Me personally, I couldn't hire him for my program. I'm just saying. I don't care what he could bring or what I think he could potentially bring. I just think what can potentially go wrong is worse.
I agree. I think it's a risk. I think there's a risk to it, but I like what Kim had to say. Is coming to the Big 12 is big. That opens up Texas more than it did already. Him being from Dallas, he's going to get some guys from the Metroplex. Now, I think right now he's in a hurry, so he's going to keep doing this portal thing. And I don't know that that's the right. I think that may be his biggest thing, is that he's in such a hurry to win today that I think that you say all the time, you recruit your problems. Some of these guys are coming in, and if you continue to get nothing but bad press, if it doesn't work out with certain guys, or they're saying this and that, they talk. These recruits talk to each other, so you know what I mean. It's one of those things that you got to think about. That would be my concern. Is I think that you need to really work on. I know you want Shedeur and Shiloh to win. I think you need to build through your high school recruiting. You got to do it. Because
you're not wrong. But
rule. You know that, right?
That takes time. It
does take time.
Y'all know he has a 40-40-20 rule, right?
He has a what?
He has a 40-40-20 rule.
He wants 40. So what 40, does that mean?
He wants 40% from the portal, 40% transfers, and 20% high school recruits.
What? Really?
I don't.
Whoa.
Yeah, he did say that. I heard him say that on McAfee one day.
Wow.
He thinks that's going to work out. And look, if he catches lightning in a bottle, it could. But if he doesn't,
but we think he's banking
on the table the other day that was he's played at Louisville. He played at Louisville and Kentucky. He's a trainer, and he was with the Cleveland for a while, but he trains a lot of these kids that are getting ready, and some of them are going into the portal. He thinks that Deion's about to make a big splash in the portal. That's what he told us on. And listen, I mean, Ty doesn't have a bunch of dudes that don't know their stuff on his show. So I tend to agree that there's probably going to be some guys up there. And I also think that a lot of people want to play for Deion Sanders, man. I think that even if you heard something, but if it continues happening like this, where you're 1 year renting all these dudes, then I don't know that that's going to work.
There's no development.
Yeah. None at all.
I think that he's just one of those. It's one of those deals that it's not sustainable, but I get where he's at, but I think that he needs to. I wouldn't do that 20% shit. I would be at 40, or maybe even you might do 60% coming from high school, and then you can do your 40. You can do your 40% from the portal, but 60% needs to be out of high school, man.
You don't pull that shit from his budget and plan or something.
Something. Yeah, gold toilet.
And going back to the Sapp thing real quick. You're asking about, would you hire him? I don't like the hire.
Heck no.
But with what Deion is trying to accomplish in a very quick time, I get it. I don't know that I would do it, but I understand what he's trying to accomplish. It's a bold move. And in today's age, right? Where, we gotta win. Society's all about what have you done for me lately? It is what it is. If Warren Sapp can come in and help instantaneously, then he accomplishes everything that he's set out to do. So, yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind the hire.
Coda, we practicing and we preaching, and we going into these parents' living room talking about how we're going to take care of your kid and develop your kid. But you got to hire high quality character coaches. You can't hire somebody else and try to preach that story to me coming in my living room.
Yeah, he's Warren Sapp may not win over very many mama bears.
Here's the thing about what did Coach Khan say at the Super Bowl? He said that he wants them defensive tackle guys, the defensive lineman dudes, he wants them to be single mamas. Warren Sapp can kind of, he may not get over on a guy. There may be dudes that don't want that, but Warren Sapp will go in there and be like, look at what I did,
Okay.
Single mom. I don't know, man. I'm not saying what
I hope she ain't got the damn internet.
Yeah. That's the whole. Hey,
hopefully she's a fan of like tennis or something.
Yeah. Look, I think it's just I think you hit it right when you said it's probably going to take a bit more time than what for him to. He's not going to be able to. I heard somebody talking about he's going to get the job at Florida because Billy's going to get burned. Which I could see Billy leaving after this year because I don't know that they're going to be all that. I mean, not after this season, but after 24, I could see that, right? And I could see them trying to make that higher just to piss off FSU if for nothing else. But I will say this: if you don't win, right? If you win 6 next year, that's still an improvement, and he needs to think of it as that. But that probably keeps him in Boulder.
But you become a used car salesman at that point. Every 3 years, you're changing jobs. Like, how can I trust you? That's why recruits are not staying because they don't know if you're going to be there. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't trust you with my child and you leaving every 3 years.
Look, and that's the thing. You have to hope that he doesn't leave every 3 years. But I think that first off, I think that he's got loyalty to the AD there too, because he gave him a job. He's mentioned how that's Colorado's 3rd straight black head coach, and he appreciates that. Hell, Carl Durrell's son is still on his team. He's one of his top recruiters. So, I mean, look, it's something that means something to him, and I think that he cares about that. And look, I mean, I haven't really heard Deion lie about anything yet. That's the one thing. And he hadn't said he's ready to go anywhere, or he hadn't talked about that. I mean, he's making damn sure a lot more money. He's in a great situation where they hadn't won in a while. So I don't think that you can get, if you don't just go and have another 1 in 11 years, you're probably okay. They're going to allow him time. Now, I don't know that I like that ratio. That 40-40-20 is not.
That's terrible.
I don't think
that is
model.
I didn't know about that until Shotty said that.
I hope somebody gets a hold of him like that. I didn't think I liked it then. If it worked last year, this past season, then that's one thing, and it worked for a little while. But then
you're setting yourself up for a Mel Tucker situation, right? You might have a year where you get a Kenneth Walker and everything just kind of falls right, but if you don't have some development guys, somebody just put in the comments that it was actually really good, Purple Orca, and they were talking about Oklahoma State is a developmental place. Yeah. Most of our guys are 2-3 stars. A lot of the 4 stars that we got in 2021 are the guys that you're seeing now, right? Like your Colin Olivers and your Nick Martins. They were 2021 class. It took them a little bit of time to kind of get where they are now. I mean, Colin Oliver was a freshman All-American, but that was also 30 pounds ago. So I see where the developmental side of the thing does need to be shifted a little bit, right? You can't just rely on development or you're going to be screwed because you're going to lose too many people here and there to make it all work. But you got to have some people in the middle there that are willing to work for 3-4 years before they get their chance. You have to have that core nucleus, in my opinion. But Deion's got a differing opinion. I find it wild that you're
Well, I think it's
banking
to-
so
it's
hard
to sell a culture,
on one
right?
year at a
Isn't it hard
time.
to sell a culture if you're not selling them on multiple that you're going to be here for you, even if you don't start. How are you selling the culture to them if you're not selling that you need to be here for the long
That's
haul?
right.
You know, I think that's the thing is that you can't look. It's not supposed to be easy. This is a conversation that we've had a lot over the last few weeks at Oklahoma. Look, the goalpost got raised a little bit when you start off 6-0 and beat Texas, and then 7-0. But the truth was that there's no shortcuts to that. It took 5 years for Georgia, and they went 1-7 before they won a natty against Alabama, or 1-6, whatever it is. They won 1 out of 7 games.
We still 1-4 against them.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, it's not a thing that's been good, but it took all that time. And as good as Kirby is, and he's doing it his way, and not like they weren't competing for it right away, but they weren't getting over that hump. And so to expect to get everything, you know, like this it's expecting too much sometimes. And I think that sometimes we got to look in. I understand that we all want it. I mean, everybody from Oklahoma everybody wants it. I don't care who you're a fan of. You want a national championship. When you're a blue blood, you really want it. And it's been a long time for OU, but it's the same type of thing. You're not going to freaking stick it in the microwave, or, you know, hey, I always said this about a lot of there's a lot of things that are like this too. You can't put a freaking pot roast in the oven and it takes an hour and take it out in 30 minutes and it's good.
Be tougher than boot leather.
Hey, why are you talking crap about my cooking, Jason? How dare you?
What I would tell you guys is this: if you go back and kind of just look at the history, when you have coaching changes, year 2 generally is always the biggest jump.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
So what's going to be very important is going to be year 3, 4, and 5. Because now you're talking about how this coach has been recruiting, because that year 2, you won with somebody else player.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be about 2, 3, 4, and 5, and how you're recruiting, and how you're getting these guys in, and getting them in, and developing them into your program. That shows what kind of coach you are. So if I'm Oklahoma, I'm gonna be honest with you. Year 2 is awesome, but I kind of would have expected it, especially with the schedule, right? But my concern is going to be 2024 and 2025. Those are my concerns. That's what I'm really looking for.
Well, me and Jason has been saying that 2025 is probably going to be the breakout year for BB. Have we not, Jason?
Yeah, I think that's the year that they're probably gonna contend for it. I don't even know for sure that you necessarily win it, but I think that we're getting that back again. Hold on.
Okay, guys. Well, guys, I'll go. I'll just jump out in the chat because it's probably from my end. Shoddy, nice to be on with you, my brother Cody.
Yes, sir, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate you, bud.
Not a problem, Jason. And I'll jump off and come in the chat, brother.
Okay, my man. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Hey, good to meet you, Mike.
Good to meet you, Cody. And Shoddy.
All right. So
Shoddy.
So again, yes. I mean, I think a lot of things have changed since then. But Kirk's question, he said, when did OU win? It was 2000, and it was in year 2. But it's a different situation than it is in 2000. You know, they had where they had some years of John Blake, and he could recruit, but he wasn't putting it together in the coaching part. Now, but they had some. I mean, most of the guys, they won the championship with a bunch of guys, but you didn't have people transferring like that before either. You know.
Yep.
Now, you can get up and leave, right? But look, man, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't believe that Deion can do it, because I do think he can do it. Yeah. Yeah. Year 2, but it was okay. It all the stars aligned that year too. You know,
can I also throw out here, Kirk mentioned a short position player. Can we just dispel this myth from an OU perspective? Nate Hibble was way better than Jason White. All right, can we just get that out of the way?
Are you trying to get kicked out or what? Is what happening? No, I don't hate Nate, but Jason White wasn't great in the NFL, but he was very good at Oklahoma.
He had an NFL line.
He did.
He had 16 seconds to throw every pass. Hell, I could have been good for OU with one leg with that O-line. Come on now.
Are you really trying
to got to be able to make it
Hey, throw me out there in a prosthetic with that O-line. I'll be dropping dimes, baby.
Lord. Anyway, yeah. Look. What Landry? What? So was Landry? What?
Landry Jones better than Jason? Oh, that one for sure.
Oh yeah, Landry was better than Jason.
That's Sam Bradford too.
You lose it. Oh, Sam Bradford was. He's arguably the best one that's come through out of all of them. I mean, you got to give Baker and Kyler their part of it too because they were both number ones. But so was Sam. Sam won the Heisman, went number one. You know.
Well, and he's a local kid. That
dude.
Cool.
And Sam was a 3-star. Came in there and freaking. Yeah. I still remember the flip into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bedlam moment.
Yeah.
Landry had his bedlam moments too. Look, here's the thing. The thing with them was with Landry, I think, well, that was the start of that Oklahoma time, you know. But it is what it is. Oh, you folks in Oklahoma don't agree. They love white folk hero. Yeah, listen.
Well, that's because he's always on these damn air conditioning commercials. Come on now. He's always trying to sell that.
Brother, that is the
beauty of being
a local hero. If you're a local hero of your school, it's kind of like Mike Gundy. Doesn't he sell a lot of shit out there?
Well, you know he's going to.
Yeah.
You know he's gonna. Yeah.
Sam was a stone cold killer.
Mike Gundy, I think, got a lot of political friends, a lot of political ties. That's got to be the case. I'm just being honest with you. He has to know the right people in high places.
From what I've been told, out of our top 5 donors, 2 of the top 5 donors are like Gundy's neighbors type buddies.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. I'm just being honest. It's deeper than football. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Look, he has definitely won at the right times. I'll give him that. The times that he's won, it was right. If he was ever in trouble, like this year, I mean, there was no way he should have been able to survive this season. This is one thing you got to say about him this year is that when he came back to work, they went to work. You know, and
I don't know if soul on that, Jason. Y'all been saying that all year.
Listen, I'm not. Look, I'm not going to say too much nice. You know this, and I believe that they are gonna get their ass kicked on Saturday. But
we should.
But the problem is that Texas has the gag reflex too.
Well, and how many times have you said until Sarkisian wins 10, I won't believe it? See, he did it, but other than the OU game, and then I guess technically Houston, Texas hasn't really been tested all that much. If this is an ugly, dirty, nasty game in the fourth quarter, it could get pretty fun.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
I actually just checked. It's going to be 71 degrees and sunny.
It's in Jerry World.
It's indoor, but
okay.
Hey, man, they gonna have that roof open though.
No, I just think playing in inclement weather would probably favor Oklahoma State. Not Oklahoma State. Yeah, Oklahoma State.
Yeah. If it's bad weather, if it was outside and bad weather with all of their speed and size, yeah, that would be a rough day. We're gonna have to do some things. Did you just hear my voice cracked? I might be hitting puberty. We're gonna have to do some things that are a little bit abnormal. We just are. If we try to line up 11 dudes against 11 dudes, we're going to get our ass whooped. We're going to have to add some wrinkles. We're going to have to do a couple fakes. We're going to have to go for it on fourth down a couple times. Some Statue of Liberty, that type of stuff. We're going to have to pull out some old Boise State stuff. we're not going to be able to just run a traditional, typical offense, hand the ball off to Ollie, and have a great day. Matter of fact, I do think one of the biggest keys is going to be Ollie in the receiving game. There's only been one game this year where he's got more than like 3 catches, and he went for like $170.
Right.
And then we stopped throwing him the ball.
I think you're right.
So,
I think you're going to have to do different stuff because, look, you're not going to run between the tackles. I know Ollie's good, but you're not going to run between the tackles and go over. And you're not running over Sweat. It's not happening, right?
Well, and people aren't taking into consideration, and I don't like to, put a bunch of business out there, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but nobody's talking about it. Ollie's not 100%.
I know he's not.
Ollie's maybe 80.
Yeah.
He's maybe 80. He's going to have about 73 pounds of
He's
tape.
been balling, though. He's been balling. Here's the thing. I want to know this because, and before you leave, I know you got to go, Cody.
Yeah, my daughter is hollering for me upstairs.
It's all good. But you got to answer this for me.
Hit me, Goose.
Coach of the year, are you shitting me?
I mean, okay, yes. I'm actually glad you brought this up. So Steve Sarkisian did a lot of phenomenal things. We all can agree with that. But what would you guys say? You both have been covering the sport and paying attention for quite some time. When you lose a locker room, what would you say is the percentage that you get that locker room back and then reel off 6 in a row basically and go play for a title? Like what, maybe 2%? 10% max?
It happens very often. I don't think it happens very often. But if you're going to go there with it, okay, first, Sark's never even won 10 games. He wins 11. He's got a chance to go to the playoff. He was supposed to do that. I'll give you that part. And then, hey, BV went from 6-7 to 10-2 as well. But I'm going to tell you this: the guy that probably really should have won it, I still think that I think that there was a lot of snubs on this because I think Dillon Gabriel was the player of the year too. I was
about to say, I would say that there's a more applicable argument between Dillon Gabriel and Ollie Gordon.
Dillon Gabriel should have been the player of the year. I think Dillon should have been player of the year, but I also think that Neil Brown should have been coach of the year. What? Dude wins 8 games and they were freaking picked to go 14th.
Yeah, maybe. But you gotta take into consideration the 2 teams that are in the title. Honestly, to me, the biggest snub was Dillon. Now, do I think Dillon is better than Ollie? No, I don't. But Dillon's yards are phenomenal. Yeah, that had me rolling. Not gonna lie. I guess Hank doesn't like the not bearded Cody. Good to know.
Yeah, it was weird, bro. It was weird. Yeah,
well, all right, dude. I got a skedaddle.
Okay.
My daughter wants to help me pack for Arlington. And by the way, everybody give Jason as much crap as possible because I tried to talk him into letting me pick him up in Lubbock on the way through. He's like, oh, I got to think about it. I'm important. I got stuff to pretend to do tomorrow.
Are you coming through in the morning or what? When are you going to be there?
I'll leave here probably like 8:30. So that will put me in Lubbock at what? Like 6?
Probably, yeah. I'll hit you up when we get done.
All right, Bubba. Jody.
Later.
It's great, man.
Right, Cody,
I appreciate your time.
Man.
Locked on
fellas.
Oklahoma State. Cody.
God bless. Go Pokes.
Later,
what's the spread on that Oklahoma State game?
14.5 to 15, depending on where you look. It started at 10.5. It started at 10.5 and went to 14.5 in 2.5 days. Hey, I bet it gets to 16.5 before kickoff. And you better believe I'm going to try to make some money, honey.
I would take the 16 points too.
Give me that spread. I like it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Well, we may not win, but Gundy typically wins these spreads.
We'll see.
All right.
You should get beat by 50.
No.
All right, brother. We'll see you later.
Holler at me, Hooker.
Come on, bro. I will.
Later.
Later.
Yes, sir.
Cody Stovall locks on Oklahoma State. Folks, if you have not hit that like button, please hit that like button. See, we should be bouncing back up a little bit. If it was in Stillwater, I'd like the spread better. Oh, well, yeah. They're not winning the game, bro. They're not winning that game. That's not where Texas is this year. That's not where Texas is at. They may not cover that spread, but they're going to win the game.
I'm
I think they're going to win it. There's been opportunities to beat them quite a few times, bro, but they haven't. They keep finding ways to win. So, you know, yeah, I think
Texas definitely got the better team, the better roster.
Their defense is better.
Yeah,
and
it's an uphill battle.
That's the problem is that Alan Bowman is not good. Their quarterback. You got to take advantage of that. But their secondary, Texas's secondary isn't great. So if Bowman was to play pretty decent, they'd have a better chance. With Ollie, if they can get him, he's gonna need 200. I think he's gonna need 200.
So the thing about it, Jason, in a game like this, I just think Texas get too many possessions and too many opportunities.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's the only thing. They just get too many possessions, too many opportunities.
Listen, and especially one thing that Oklahoma State has had a hard time with. They did it last week, but I don't think. But this is not the same football team you're going up against. But when they've gotten behind and they've had to really rely on their passing game, they're not good at comebacks. Now, they caught a break last year. It wasn't enough they weren't ahead enough. They should have extended the lead after halftime, and they just kind of went dead. So they gave them a lot of opportunities to get back in it. Texas ain't going to do that. Now, they may let you get back in it a little bit, but they're not going to go the entirety of the fourth quarter and not score anything, right? Or the entirety of the second half pretty much and not score until they kick a field goal, I think, at the end to go to overtime, and that's it, though. They needed to be, they're up 24-6 at the half. They needed to handle that. But Texas isn't going to do that. They're going to find ways to do it. They've got too many good running backs. Quinn is good. They got A.D. Mitchell, and they've got they're good everywhere. They've got probably the second best tight end in the country. They're good. They're good that way.
I like what you did with that. I saw what you did with that.
I wouldn't. Hey, I know who Brock Bowers is, bro. I know who Brock Bowers is. I feel you. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think it's tough. I think it's a tough one. But I do think that was a bullshit Coach of the Year award. And I think that Dillon Gabriel deserved to be the Player of the Year too on offense. He did. To be honest with you, I think that Billy Bowman should have been Player of the Year on defense. He had 6 interceptions. He leads the country. He has 3 of them he returned for a touchdown. How is he not Defensive Player of the Year? And they beat
was he in the rankings though for it? Was he in the rankings for it?
Coming into the season, no. I mean, he's first team. He's first team All Big 12, but he should have won. He should have won Player of the Year on the defensive side. I think both of the Oklahoma guys and they beat Texas. Did he have an interception in that game? Yes, he did. Right. Yeah. Bowman will have to replicate his game against OU. Yeah. Tell me, you guys, Oklahoma folks, I think Bowman did have an interception against Texas, right? He should have freaking won the award. That's all I'm saying. He led the country in interceptions. He broke an OU record for return touchdowns from an interception. He led
the country. That means he led the conference also then.
Yep. I think the closest person in the conference was had 3 or 4 maybe. So he was at least 2 up on him. Yeah, the one that went up.
OU hate. Unless if they give them awards to Texas, it'll be hard to say they hate no.
Well, now they did give that one to and that's the thing is as good as I think Sweat is, and he is, Tavondre Sweat. But I mean, he didn't have a bunch of sacks or anything like that. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like it. And then there seemed to be a lot of Texas Tech guys on this freaking all Big 12 team for them being as shitty as they were. Yeah. Tied for number 1 in pick sixes. Okay. Williams and Dobie. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Kendall got the one that was deflected, right? But didn't he lay the wood on him? So he caused that interception too. Because he laid the wood to him, didn't he? Or who was it that made that hit? I'm going to have to go back and watch that game. It was a great game. But no, I mean, look, the newcomer of the year, yeah, I could see A.D. Mitchell being that guy. And as good as Ollie was, he didn't really do anything until game 5, and he's been great since then. I'll give him that. But I don't know how he's a sophomore. You know, Dillon's not going to be back. He's a senior. I don't see how you do that. You know what I mean? And particularly Dillon put up 50 touchdowns. He threw for 70%.
Hold on. Dillon Gabriel is a sophomore?
No, I was talking about Ollie Gordon.
Oh, okay.
But Dillon, I'm going to give you his totals. Let's see. Stats.
Y'all know how I feel about that Dillon Gabriel.
I know you love him. I know you. I'm with you, bro.
It ain't that I love him. It just,
so he had 3660. He had 3660 passing yards. He missed a good part of that one game, but he had 30 touchdowns passing, and then rushing wise, he had let's see all your stats, bro. Yeah, he only threw
like 6 picks.
He had 6 interceptions. He had, man. I mean,
That's
look,
balling.
he balled. He balled out, man. He's in the top, you know, he led one of the top 5 scoring offenses in the country. I mean, they're the number one scoring offense in the country. Yeah, man. And also in the yeah. Let's see.
He ain't even got a roster spot.
Okay, so he had also rushing touchdowns this year. Yeah, he had 12. So he had 42 touchdowns total to 6 turnovers.
That's Heisman.
Yeah, not quite, but because
I mean, you know. Yeah.
But I mean, it's Heisman numbers some years. You know.
I mean, when you get around 45, 50 touchdowns, I mean, you at the top. Yeah. Who else out there? You in the top.
Yeah. What's up, Adela? Yeah, listen. Look, I mean, he should have definitely been. Yeah, he should have been there.
I know y'all got that new Ferrari in the garage, and you know what I'm saying. Y'all done test drove it a few times. So I get it. I understand. I get it.
Well,
that old Chevy, you know, it crank up and it run every day.
They're telling him to leave. I don't think they're telling him to leave. Look, I got done saying it earlier, man. I'm not in a hurry to see Dillon Gabriel walk out the door. I know some people are ready to look at your new Lamborghini and see what he does. I think when you got a guy that doesn't turn the football over and he had 42 touchdowns to 6 picks, he can run a little bit too. You know, look, first year in the SEC, it wouldn't hurt. And even if he came around and was your backup, it's better than being true sophomore and 2 true freshmen backing him up. That's tough, man.
I tell you what, if he goes to Mississippi State, he makes them exponentially better the first year.
Yeah, though,
he knows the offense.
If Jeff Lebby ain't freaking, if they ain't dumping a big old sack of cash on Dillon Gabriel to get his ass out there, they're crazy.
You better when the other guy done left already. You better be on Dillon Gabriel. You know what? That need to be your guy. It would make no sense for this kid not to go to Mississippi State.
Oh no,
why wouldn't he?
I don't know. Yeah, and he's already up there like number 4 in touchdowns or pass, whatever national or overall passing yards in history. He's got a chance to break some records in college.
And now you get to do it in the toughest conference. You get to show your chops against the toughest competition.
True that. It could definitely help him as far as his draft status. I think he's like a day 3 guy if he doesn't, That's just my feeling on it. I would think that's anyway. Yeah, Ollie Gordon definitely had a good season too, but I don't think he's the player. I just don't think so.
Yes, I'm gonna get ready to slide out of here too, my friend.
Yeah, I gotta get to. But I just wanted to jump in here and tell everybody. But hey, thanks for jumping in and giving us your opinions on some of that's just your damn opinion. We appreciate it, guys. Make sure to get over and check him out. Let him know everywhere to find you again. And he's got his 12-team playoff. If it was this year, OU. So everybody, as if they didn't already love you, bro. They love you again.
Oh well, hey man, I just be me, man. I don't know anybody else who to be other than myself. So my strength is my weakness. You know what I'm saying? But all I say is at the end of the day, you'll always know where you stand with shouting, because I'm gonna shoot you straight.
Hey, man, we love having you on, so appreciate you, my man. And yeah, we'll get back with you coming up. I'll see you guys on the snap count for sure.
Appreciate it, man. You be safe, man.
All right, man. Good luck to you guys this weekend.
And shout out to everybody in the comments too, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Shouty, Thad Parker from Just My Damn Opinion. One of the better shows, man. You guys got to make sure you get over there and check out his show if you have not. It's definitely one of the better shows out there. Definitely one of the better shows out there. All right. Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm gonna say that there's a little snubbing going on there. Definitely shouldn't have been Gundy as the coach of the year. They lost by 27 to South Alabama at home. Just because he showed up to work before he got fired. Nah, whatever. But it is what it is. I think that really you could have given it to Sark, and you easily could have given it to I think you could have given it to Neil Brown. They were picked to finish 14th, and he had 8 wins. If you're going to go that way, you should have went with him. That's just my feelings. But anyway, what do you guys think in there? Do y'all think it should have been? You think it should have been Neil Brown? Do you think it should have been Sark? Hey, appreciate it, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, too. This dog, I got to take him and let him eat. He's hungry. Oh, come here, Norman. Come here. Hop up here. Hop up. Look. Old Norman's here. Hey, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. You like the apparel? My dude. All right. Sarker BV. Okay. Yep. Yormark loves him some Gundy. He does. He does. All right, guys. Yeah, neither one of them. Got it. I knew I'd get that from you guys, so that's all good. All right. Norm, say goodbye to everybody. Hey, guys. Thanks a lot for showing up in here. We will see you guys this weekend. Saturday night snap count on Coach I's show. I don't think he's going to the championship game, but I got to check with him to make sure. But I'm pretty sure we'll be on the snap count, Saturday night snap count. So make sure you get over there, check us out. If you're not already a subscriber, please do. Hey, we are 120 away from 3,000. Share us, help us get more subscribers out there. We'd appreciate it. But hey, guys, we will see you guys all on the next one.